Hello, guys. This is the Ranger Gamer '06 coming back at you. How's everyone doing today? And today is another book review, and you guess it, another part of the Dritz books. Uh, sort of, because this is not about Dritz. It's in the same universe. He is mentioned a few times, but today we are going over the Sellsword trilogy, starring Artemis Entreri, which, for those who don't know, that's the assassin that Drizzt encounters in the Icewind Dale trilogy. And then you have Jarlaxle, which, if I'm not mistaken, he appeared in the Dark Elf trilogy. So they're like a duo. And this is that takes place after the Pass of Darkness. So we're looking at books 14, 15, and 16 in this review. So starting with book one, you got The Servants of the Shard. Here's a cover. Let's see if I can. And again, this is by R.A. Salvatore. There's a spine. And this is the back of it. And by the way, these three characters are from the Cleric Quintet series, which I also already covered that in my past video. That's a 5-book series. So again, you got Ivan and Pykel, the Green Beater Door, the brothers, Boulder Shoulders. And I believe that's this woman is Danica. That's Catterley's wife. He's the main character in the Cleric Quintet, and he's in this book for a reason. Um, Normally, I don't like spoiling it, but this would be a little spoiler, so be warned. Catterley, you could tell just by looking to this is Artemis on Triri, the assassin, and Jarlax of the Dark Elf. And I can't remember who this guy is. He's a wizard, but I can't remember his name for the like of me now. But anyway, if you look, he's holding the crystal shard, the same shard that Driz and his friend had to deal with in the Icewind Dale trilogy. Uh, Again, it'll be a little spoiler, so be warned. In the Path of Darkness, they Driz and the other try to destroy it. And Catterley, the cleric, he's like, I have the power to, to destroy this crystal, to handle it. And I mean, the thing about Jarlaxle, in a way, he kind of reminds me of James Bond. I don't know why. And I say that because he's got a lot of gadgets, like magical gadgets. I mean, he's a very unique character. But anyway, uh, in the darkness, he somehow disguises himself. I thought it was a real Catterley, but they didn't know it was Jarlaxle in disguise, so they hand the crystal to him, and that's how these guys got a hold of it in this book. So now they have it, and of course, just like anyone who wields a crystal shard, it controls your mind, and uh, and it gets to him, Jarlaxle. It gets to him, and then Artemis tries to help his friend. And of course, Catterley comes in, and the whole gang of the dwarves right here. They help him out. I think they finally get rid of the crystal shard. Uh, I want to say it's destroyed. I don't think. I think it was. I think it makes a comeback in the later series, but I haven't gotten that far yet. Uh, as of right now, as I'm making this video, I just finished the third book of the Hunter's Blaze trilogy, which that'll be my next book review. Not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm a little busy. But anyway, so that's kind of the reason why he's holding the shard. It's how it came to be. So they get rid of it and everything. That's kind of the gist of this book. And This book actually made me go back and read the Cleric Quintet. Now, I have heard of it, but I kinda ignore it because really, like I said in my previous video, you don't have to read it to understand the Driss books, but in this book, Catterley I can't remember what chapter it is now, but Catterley and his, wife, they're discussing their past adventure, like finding a dragon, and all the other stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, I gotta read the book now because I feel like I'm missing out." So after I finished this trilogy, I went on eBay and bought the Cleric Quintet, so I read that, you know, and then after I finished that series, then I read the, Hunter's Blaze trilogy, which I just finished today finally. But yeah, so this book maybe made me read the Cleric Quintet book. So that's book 1 of the Self-Sword trilogy, and like I said on my previous video, this was originally a 3rd book of, The Path of Darkness, but now it's considered book 1 of the Sellswords, so this is book 14. Now, book 2, this is cool, I like the title. This is Promise of the Witch King, and again, you got Jarlaxle and Artemis, and these are, gargoyles. And this woman, it's not Canterbury. I thought it was because she had red hair. No, this is somebody else. She's from a town that they're in. Starts with a D. Hang on, I got it up. Uh, Dameron or something like that. Um, anyway, they're in this book. Artemis and Jarlaxle are hired by these 2 dragon sisters, and I cannot pronounce their name, but I will spell it out for you. And this was Lenzera. I don't know if it's 2 I or I think it's 2 I's. It's I or Ilnezara. And the other sister is Tazmekala. Again, I don't know how their names are pronounced, but it's Tazmikella. And what this story is about, actually, before I'm getting ahead of myself, I probably show the spine. Yeah, it's a little bright. Yeah. And then you got this guy, another dwarf character. This is starts with the A. Agarin Athrogate. His name is Athrogate. And you can tell just by the picture, if I get a closer look. There we go. As you can see, he's got 2 like spiked mace or maul. That's his weapons. He's a cool character. I like him. That's Athelgate. Uh, so in this book, they're hired by these 2 dragon sisters, which they're very cool, unique characters. They can turn themselves into humans. They own like their own shops at this village, and basically there's an artifact that they're looking for that the Witch King had. This book is kind of more of a creepy feel to it, not in a bad way though, in a good way, because this, and you can actually see, maybe not. He looks like a specter or ghost. That's the Witch King, and he's got a name. I got it pulled up because it's been a while since I read this, so I'm ready to refresh my memory. It starts with a Z. Yeah, he's a lich, by the way. Lich or lick, lick or lich. It's what he is. Zangai. It's Zhengy. So yeah, uh, that's basically what's that's the whole gist. That they're looking for an artifact that the Witch King has that the dragon sisters are looking for. Um, it's I can't remember the name of the artifact now, but anyway, that's kind of just a. This is actually out of the trilogy. I have to say like this one a little bit better. They're all good. Don't get me wrong. They're all three books are good, but this is really interesting. More happens in this book. So I don't want to give it away. 'Cause I'm trying to keep my book reviews, spoiler free because I want you guys to read them. If I spoil it, then there's no reason for you guys to read it. You know what I mean? So I'm doing this so that maybe you guys can get into the series. Because R.A. Salvatore, great author, one of my favorite authors. So that's book two. That's them. And the third and final book is uh, Road to Patriarch. Forgive me if I mispronounce that. Once again, you got Artemis and Jarlaxle, and their steeds as horses are awesome. They're not real horses, you can tell. They're these are actually they're similar to Guinevere, Doritz's companion, the Black Panther. These are magical beasts. They summon and they can run without getting tired, and that's how they travel. So yeah, you can see the hoofs. It's on fire. You see the flames. Here's the spine. It's not really good, I know. And the back of it doesn't show anything really, just a mountain. Yeah, so this is the final book of the Sellsword trilogy. This was a little emotional to me, and I will explain why. Uh, well, there was a half elf character named Kalahai. I think it's how you pronounce her name. Uh, in case you got her curious, her name is spelled Calihye. And because I think it was the second book, it may be the first book. I can't remember, or it may be the beginning of this book. Like I said, it's been months ago. So I mean, it was this year, but it's been a couple of months I read these books. But apparently, Gerlaxel had this magical flute that he handed to Artemis, and what the flute does, it uh, how can I say this? It's it hides your emotion. It makes you emotional. It makes you feel like a real self, like, it makes you feel happy or sad. It shows your emotion, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It expresses your emotion. And so and that's what makes him fall in love with this half elf character. And here, they go up against this King Gareth, which he's in the other books, because Jarlaxle, he kinda took over, the Witch King's home castle. Because what happened was in the second book, the Witch King created this castle, and like, it rolled up out of the ground, but, they defeated Witch King and all that, and then in the third book, Jarlaxle kinda, like, makes it his own home, and King Garrus is not happy about it, so they go and march to his gate. You got gargoyles attacking again, so that's kinda like the biggest battle, that's the battle that's going on in this book. But the second half of this book is what kinda gets emotional to me because, uh, Entreri Artemis, he goes on and he go back to his hometown where he grew up, and, he had a rough childhood. His mom his parents weren't really around. His mom was, a prostitute, so she was really home. She was bringing strangers. His dad would beat him, and I think that's what led him to become an assassin, to join the guild, the assassin guild. And so in this book, he kinda went to his hometown. I don't think it's Kalimport, but that's where he went to as a guild. Trying to think here. It may be canon, but I don't think it is. But anyway, he goes back to his hometown and, you know, figure out where his mom and dad is at, and I feel like in this book, I'm not gonna say what happened because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But let's just say that he finally, Artemis finally has closure. I will say that. I think it's a good conclusion to these characters, at least for Artemis. So, uh, so this was not really long. I hope this video was good, that you guys enjoyed it. If you love Artemis from the Icewind trilogy, don't skip this. This is the first time he has his own book, and it's right here in the Sellsword trilogy. So Crystal Shard, Promise of the Witch King, and Road to the Patriarch. Excellent trilogy, excellent. Uh, again, it doesn't start Dritz, but I still count it as the same series. So, it does mention Dritz, a couple times. And actually, one little thing, I didn't want to spoil it from my previous book review, but I guess I'll go ahead and say it. But in the Path of Darkness, you know, Artemis and Dritz, they fight again, because their combat skill is pretty much the same, and so Dritz, so, they're on the same level. So Artemis, he's so obsessed of beating Dritz, he wants to be better than him. And apparently he thinks Dritz died. So in this book, in this trilogy, he thinks Dritz is dead, which he's not. Dritz is very much alive. So yeah, so he kind of moved on, and that's kind of what happened. Jarlaxle took him in, and they kind of became duos, and that's how this trilogy starts. So yeah, great trilogy. Like I said, it comes after the Path of Darkness, so that makes this trilogy books 14, 15, and 16. So if you haven't read these books, please read them because they're excellent books. So they're very good, especially if you like Artemis or if you like Jarlaxle. If those are your favorite characters, there's no reason to miss out on this trilogy. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up, and like I said, I'll do another book review Thursday, I believe. So keep an eye on that. This is the Regular Gamer '06. Thank you guys for watching, and stay classy. Bye.